Well, Michael, thank you for coming on the Red Carpet Roundtable.
Oh, well, thank you for having me, man. Really
You're,
appreciate it.
you're very welcome. Can you let everybody a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go from there?
Sure. I'm a full-time filmmaker. I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and I've lived in Los Angeles for about 13 years and just making movies.
Wow, amazing. I'm going to dig into what made you go from a transition from your lighting technician to becoming a film director.
That's a great question. So when I moved to LA, I didn't have any resources, no contacts, no job. I was one of those kids that put all my stuff in a car and drove out there with nothing but a dream in my pocket, as they say. But so the only way to really break in at that level is to be a production assistant. And I did, I think, two movies as a production assistant before I saw the gripping, and I was like, I think I'd rather do that. So some manual labor, and got pretty good at gripping and gaffing. And honestly, that was just is like I called it my waiter job.
Hmm.
Even though I was on set and I was meeting people, which is really, really valuable, it was more or less just to survive and make money. And I was very blessed and fortunate that my waiter job also put me in contact with a lot of people. So I definitely recommend that if you want to be an actor, a producer, a director, even definitely cinematographer, start as crew somewhere, makeup, art department, you meet people, and that's invaluable in this industry.
Right. That's amazing to hear that. I want to dig into your film that you're making. I already made. I'm sorry. Please forgive me if I'm saying this wrong. I'm so bad. Is it Winterest?
Winterset.
Winterset. Thank you.
Yeah.
See? I'm sorry. And it's about like a thriller based in filmed in Iowa. Can
Hmm.
you go in details about it? Not to spoil for the audience, but can you
Sure.
give a little sneak peek about why it's a thriller kind of scary movie, in my view, what I read about it?
Well, it's not really scary. Honestly, it's more of like it's closer to a dark comedy
Okay.
than it is anything. But like I would say like crime action. So my mom grew up in Madison County, Iowa, where like the bridges of
Hmm.
Madison County are. And so growing up, I spent a lot of summers and Christmases. Oh, there goes my key light. Whoops. Let me we'll have to edit that out.
I
Sorry
go.
about that. So what was the question?
So your mother is from Iowa,
Hmm.
and what made you decide to make this film? I want to dig into
Yeah.
that, or
Sure.
this
Yeah.
dark comedy.
Yeah. So essentially I wanted to make a third feature, and I was up there doing pickups for my second movie with one of the actors, and I was like, we should go to Winterset. It's actually the county seat of Madison County. And it's like we shot in downtown Winterset, and I mean it's kind of a cool name in general, so chose to just name the movie after the town. But he's like, this is such a cool little Christmas town, and it's very, especially during Christmas time, it's
Hmm.
very Christmassy up, like the square and the courthouse in the center and whatever. And I don't, I've produced Christmas movies. I have a new Christmas movie that just came out this month that I produced, but I don't like to write them or direct them. But I do like the idea of like a Die Hard style Christmas movie where Christmas is just going on during all of this. So I kind of challenged myself to write something like that. Like what could happen in this sleepy little town that could technically be like the absolute worst thing that could happen to somebody. And so those are my motivations. Just showing these farmers try to steal some cash, or so they think, and then the worst person in the world shows up to get it all back. And
Oh,
I'll
that's
tell you that the coolest thing about it was getting to really dive into the lifestyle of like southeastern Iowans, and just really. or Southwestern Islands, I should say. But like just really getting to dive into that just country, Madisonian lifestyle, as they say.
Wow. I've been to Iowa once. Actually, Des Moines, but I haven't been anywhere else in Iowa, so I can't talk anything about Iowa. Um, how does I'm so bad.
Winterset.
Winterset. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Yeah,
Please forgive me.
all good.
Winterset reflect the growth of you as being a director.
I mean, every project I do, I try to elevate myself, I try to challenge myself.
Hmm.
I found that when a project is not fun at all, which I truly believe like filmmaking should feel like more like factory work than a vacation. It really shouldn't be fun. We can tell jokes at the factory, we can have camaraderie, but really everyone's there for a common goal. And I found that the more not fun it is, the better the product turns out.
Hmm.
And my not fun injection was working in snow. I'd done it a couple times, like up in Big Bear in California and stuff, and I've worked in cold, but I've never like trudged around in snow for a month, and it was miserable. It was definitely the hardest thing I've ever put myself through, and I'm so, so proud of the product that came out of it. I couldn't be more proud. So it definitely makes me think about what I'm going to do next. And I'll tell you, I hate rain machines. God, I hate rain machines. So I think my next movie is going to be raining the whole time. You know?
And if you mind me asking, why do you hate rain machines?
Because it just makes everything wet and sloppy and
Hmm.
dangerous constantly. You got to be not only got to be really careful with your power and you don't want anybody to electrocute it, but and it's like you're not directing under a rain machine, like you're watching people get wet, but it doesn't matter. You spend 12 hours doing that, you end up soaked, even in rain gear, even in everything.
Wow.
You just you just somehow, some way the water just gravitates towards, and that's everybody. That's crew members,
Hmm.
everyone but the producer that is offsite ends up just wet and sloshy, and it's tough. It's really tough. So
That's very interesting. I did not know that. That's I didn't know that the effects of the consequences about the rain machine.
I mean, I'll tell you what, the only thing I can think of right now that's realistically worse than rain is shooting on boats. And that's something I'm like, oh, maybe a couple movies, maybe a few movies down the road. I mean, I hate shooting on boats so much that I uh I know I'm gonna have to do it at some point to try,
Right.
but not now and not soon.
I totally get it. I understand. What do you hope for the viewers to be thinking by watching Winterset?
Well, it's kind of like a little roller coaster. It's a slow burn at first. You get really intertwined with the characters that are introduced the first, I'd say, 25 minutes, and you get to know these people. You get to know their hopes, their dreams, their strengths, their weaknesses, their goals, their motivations, the consequences for not getting their goals.
Hmm.
You get all that, and then when you have this all set up, you have all the dominoes set up, then it is a complete ride till the end. And there's a few things that, I'm not going to spoil, that people every screening have jumped out of their seats, freaked out, gasped. Like there's two moments specifically that will make you just go, you know, and then probably another five or 10 that just scrambles your brains. So it's a ride.
Well, I can't wait. Where can people see it, by the way?
So right now we started our limited release in theaters, and so it's just in select towns and select theaters as of right now. It'll be coming out on physical media uh, very soon at the beginning of the year, and then if you don't want to go to Walmart or whatever to pick up a copy. Streaming will come soon after that.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I can't wait to see it for sure. And what's the most biggest challenge of being a film director?
There's a lot of them. I mean, I can give you the political answer. I can give you the real answer. The political answer is obviously like running a team and doing, like being the leader and having to
Hmm.
all that
Hmm.
stuff that goes with being a leader. The real answer is that every single person you hire wants your job. That's the hardest part. So you're not only leading people and being a leader and getting through a call sheet, getting a bunch of people towards a common goal.
Hmm.
All of those people think that they can do it better than you can do it. And there's no way around it. Like I mean, there's only a handful of people I know that became department heads, like production designers, or there's a couple gaffers that I know that don't even want to be cinematographers. They just love gaffing, and they are so few and far between. I mean, even me, I was a grip gaffer turned, where I started producing a little bit and had to, and was directing my own little shorts and stuff to a point where
Hmm.
I honestly learned more about directing and producing, being a gaffer and doing lighting and watching other people fail or trip up or do or make poor choices with production where I'm like, I'm not doing that. You know, specifically it's like, a oneer where you do like say a 5 minute long take where you don't cut, right? That
Right.
takes forever. Like you have to rehearse it over and over, and you're rehearsing the dance with not only the actors, but the camera. All the actors have to fall in their on their marks in the lighting, all being timed correctly. You have a focus puller that's, there's sound guy can't have his boom in a shadow or, so he's dancing around. It takes so long to knock out one of those things. And then you see some of these greener directors go, okay, great, but let's get some inserts for safety. So they're going to take this beautiful 5 minute oneer that they spent all day putting together, and then they're going to cut it up. And it's like, well, if you're going to cut it up, don't do the oneer. Just shoot the coverage, shoot the B-roll, shoot what you need, but don't do a oneer and then cut it up because you just wasted 3/4 of a day. And where I'm like, well, I get it. You got to be ballsy with stuff like that because you have nothing to save you if there is something wrong. But at the same time, if you're worried about that, then just don't do it. So
Right.
I'm on a high horse right now. I get a little soapboxy sometimes when I start
No,
talking
no,
about
I
stuff like that.
appreciate no, don't feel bad. I really appreciate it. My last not my last question, but my last question about film directing is what's your advice for young females, young kids out there, boys and girls, who want to get into film directing that they're looking up to you or seeing other film directors?
I mean, everyone's got a cinema camera in their pocket now. No excuse. Zero excuse to not make something. You can edit it on the same thing you shoot it on. Like, pull out your phone, get your friends. Maybe your friends don't want to do it. Go find someone that does. Shoot something. It's gonna not be great your first few attempts, but they slowly get better and better the more you practice, the more you're like, oh, I could have done it this way. Maybe next time we'll do it that way, whatever. But that's in my mind the best way now because shoot, when I was coming up, we had to convince people to give us money and fund things. So we had camera rentals and lighting rentals and stuff. And now like there's $40 puck lights you can buy from Best Buy. And and you can shoot whatever, shoot anything, and don't be and then post it, let it live, let it get some feedback. And the reality is that if you don't grow up in Hollywood, and sometimes even if you do, but especially if you don't, most people around aren't going to be as supportive as you might want or as encouraging, and just block out that noise. You know, if your mission is to tell stories and make movies, go do it now. You could be 8 years old, make something. You know, you see 5-year-olds building cars and trucks out of Legos, and they don't know anything about mechanics, you know? So just pick
Go
up your
for it.
phone and just do it.
Hmm. That's absolute truth. Just go for it. Don't
Yeah.
keep the passion, keep the courage, don't give up.
Yeah. And yeah, never, like my pops used to say, it's actually impossible to fail until you quit. Like
Hmm.
you're gonna have a setback. You know, setbacks happen all the time. I have setbacks at this juncture, like God, maybe 10 a day now. I don't even think about them. It's because who cares? You know, it's
Yeah.
just something you have to navigate. You know,
Hmm.
I don't even look at them as setbacks or just something I've got to just another headache I got to deal with, right? But like that's it. Until you
Yeah.
quit and say no more, you haven't failed and you can't. You literally cannot fail until you quit or die, you know?
That is
So
100% true. I like that. Keep the courage, keep going, don't give up.
yeah,
Yeah. Any upcoming projects that you like to talk about other than
sure.
Winterset?
Yeah, so what was really, really cool about Winterset is there's a character. He's because it's an ensemble starring cast, right? So uh Jonah Ray is technically like the lead. He would be like the Ray Liotta
Hmm.
of this movie in like Goodfellas terms, right? And then I would say Matt Peters from Orange is the New Black is more like the De Niro. And then Ben Gavin, who played this character named Cougar, is kind of like the Pesci of the group. And he has this crazy, interesting story. He's got this big beard, this huge scar on the side of his face from a wildcat attack. And he's just this wily, farm antic guy, and just this amazing character I came up with that I wanted to see like more of him. And so I created a TV show about his backstory called Cougar, and it shows him like how he got his scars, and then it turns out it wasn't what he said in Winterset. It was something else, a little more nefarious, and then the consequences that come with that, and then more, you know, like backwoods farm life and
Hmm.
stuff. So real like we shot the pilot that's got James Russo in it and Lachlan Monroe and Bianca Grufford, and she brought, it was really cool. She brought her husband Yoan, who was like the original Mr. Fantastic, and he was just so supportive. I mean, he was just on the sidelines, just rooting us
That's
on, you
so
know.
amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was just, yeah, it was so, it was like, you know, not to be that guy, but it's like, yeah, the most famous guy on our set is isn't even acting. But it was so cool to, you know, like between him and Lachlan and Russo and like lots of these people that have been in the game for so long,
Hmm.
being so encouraging and loving and supportive that it was really easy to get through, you know.
That is so cool. That's amazing. Yeah, the famous actor just standing there like, go, 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 go.
Yeah. There was a point, it's a funny story. There was a point where we were all running around and he's like, I'm gonna go get coffee. Anybody want anything? And it's like, what? And so he comes back with trays and it's like, no way is Mr. Fantastic our coffee boy right now. Come on. Like, what world am I living in?
Yeah, he probably didn't care. He's like, I'm fantastic. I can
You
bring coffee.
yeah. Oh, like stretches his arms out, gets one for everybody. Yeah, no, it was no, he's an incredible person, and so is Bianca. And they just had a little one, which is really exciting. So
That's
I'm on
amazing.
the
That's absolutely amazing.
way.
Now you Winterset, but is there any other upcoming films?
Yeah, so I'm doing a movie in Rhode Island coming up called Stray. And
Hmm.
it's based on a book called Stray Love that was written by this woman named Stacy Lackos in Providence, Rhode Island, about a past relationship that was It was her as a young as like a young woman, and I think even into her, it starts in her teens, dating a really, really charming, kind, loving drug dealer. And she's from the right side of the tracks, he's from the wrong side of the tracks. It's a true story. Then she wrote a book about it. And so I was hired to, put together a script and then put together some cast. And we've got some potentials, but it's too early to name anybody. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because it's going to be kind of like my version of Goodfellas, where it's, female and male voiceover narration and just telling this extended love story that deals with crime and drugs and guns
Hmm.
and all the stuff, all the mental anguish that goes along with that. And it's going to be a really cool one.
That's so amazing. I'm so happy. Congratulations on both of your films.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm gonna ask you, what's the most pivotal moment in your career?
Hmm. That's a tough one, man. I mean, I feel like I mean, I've worked with the Coen brothers, with Noah Baumbach. I've been on some insane sets. I've had some really awesome wins, and they all feel like the same amount. It's just one rock, you know. There's not
Hmm.
really a bigger rock than all the other ones in this massive wall I'm building in this very weird metaphor that I just came up with. But um, no, it just, I I don't really highlight anything just because it's all hard,
Hmm.
Like, it's all very challenging and it's all very rewarding, but I wouldn't say that there's anything that I would classify as like my favorite, most pivotal moment outside of when I got to LA. I worked briefly for about 3 weeks before they fired me at a shop called the Wooden Nickel, where I was and there was a girl there that was just always picking on me, and I stood up for myself, and they fired me. And one of the people that had come in they called me because I was giving out a business card that said, here's my name, here's my number, I'll work for free, we're cheap, I just want to be on set, whatever. And I was handing out to everyone. And someone called me, this guy named Matt Lauman called me, and he asked me to do this British feature that was like a British Taken kind of a thing that we shot in downtown. And I was a PA on that. And literally from that job, I met this guy named Ben Burke, who was working for LA Grip and asked if I wanted a grip for LA Grip. And I said, yeah, hell yeah, if it pays more than this. And started doing that, and then just became uh, a gaffer from there that subsequently, put me into the running. And like my very first feature that I did, I self-funded completely with my lighting money. And at that point, I was doing pretty well. So it was like, it was only $85,000 for the film. But we shot it in my house. We had all my equipment. So I tried to make it look like I spent at
Hmm.
least 250,000 on it, but was not given any kind of opportunities. Every opportunity that I did get to make that one with other people where they turned out to be snakes and just wasn't worth it. So yeah, so had I not gotten the call from Matt Lauman, I might be working in the shipyard somewhere. Who knows?
Right. That's an amazing story. And here you are making films and still
Yeah.
going. So congratulations.
I think, shout out to God,
Yeah,
the man
anything is
upstairs.
possible with God. Amen.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
is possible with God.
yeah. There's some things that have happened in my career that I'm like, you got a hell of a sense of humor, man. Like, but I really truly don't think that. my success, in my heart of hearts, I really don't think that my success is completely 100% my success. I think,
Hmm.
to be successful, you got to meet God halfway. You got to try your best and put in everything that you can and just meet him halfway and he'll meet you the rest of the half. But you can't expect him to do everything for you
That
and
is so true.
you can't try to steamroll him either,
No,
like
I mean that's the so truthful thing. Anything is possible with God because God helps you guide your path.
yeah,
He will tell you this is your moment, or maybe it's not time yet, and
right.
it's surprised like what God can do for us.
Yeah. It's pretty out of this world.
Yes, 100%. So, where can people find you on social media?
My right now I only have Instagram. I've got a private Facebook page. It's like family and friends and stuff. But my Instagram is public. I don't do TikTok. I don't do Threads or Twitter, any of that. So my Instagram is Blev film underscore LA. And yeah, I do a lot of sharing there. So
Wow. Again, congratulations, Michael.
thank you.
Yes, and I'm so happy for your upcoming film, Rhode Island and Winterset. That's going to be released and it's going to be out in certain theaters, and people can go check it out at stores, or you said they can watch it online. Is that correct?
Yep. I mean, eventually, yeah, it'll be, on streaming services and whatnot. I mean, who knows where it'll end up, but I trust that the distributor
Mm-hmm.
will, make it go with a bang, put the razzle dazzle on it.
100%. And now you're a producer and a director and making films and
Yep. I mean, I honestly, my favorite thing about producing though is um, giving people opportunities. Like I don't gatekeep at all. If if you've procured a budget and you have a script, like I will provide all of my resources I can. I don't like do predatory contracts or any kind of, like huge chunk out of
Mhm.
budgets or anything. I try to open doors for people, give people opportunities that I didn't receive when I was coming up, and it's just in good faith, I'm not really ever expecting anything back so much as it is just like you're getting this opportunity because if I didn't say give you my van for free, like like a lighting van for free, you might not have been able to make this short film or something like that. So I um I try to do as much of that as I can.
That's amazing. Thank you. And helping the community, helping each other in the film industry is very important because we all have the same passion, same dream, and
Yeah.
we want to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise that I have a lot of animosity towards music video producers and directors, but a lot of it is based on this gatekeeping, holier than thou, better than you attitude, and it's to me it's freaking weird. Like at the end of the day, right? We're all getting paid to play pretend. That's what this is. We're not curing cancer. We're not, creating environmental changes
Hmm.
or, ending wars. We're playing pretend and getting paid for it. And it's almost like it'd be like if you were in a sandbox and building a sandcastle and you needed a certain scoop and someone over there had it, you could just borrow it. But if they go, it's my scoop. It's like, okay, enjoy it. Weird. Can you tell I like metaphors?
Yeah, I can tell. I totally agree with you. I like it. And and we are we love to help the community. We love to help people in the film industry. And I feel the same. We are all in the boat. And that's why I love connecting people through Instagram and, helping each other. And we're a family.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So.
I mean, honestly, like, the whole saying, you'll never hear somebody talk smack on you that's above you. It always comes from people that are below you or not as accomplished as you are, or so to speak.
Hmm.
But it's funny how true that is because when you are giving back, all you want to do is help people. Like I have people I look up to that are superstars that they literally don't need to give me any time of day. And they're encouraging and supportive, kind of like back to what we were saying about the cast, the Cougar,
Hmm.
like it just goes to show like when you're in the right place with the right people, they're going to lift you up. They're going to build you up. They're going to encourage you. They're going to call you out on your bullshit
Hmm.
if they don't want to watch you trip up or fail
Fail.
or have a setback. But like, and I think that that's important to emulate your heroes. So that's
Hmm.
that's what I do.
That's so true. Thank you for sharing that. And
You
I
know,
appreciate it. And, we
yeah,
are here to support each other.
absolutely.
And,
Funny story. I'm full of them, but I used to like it was like 11 or 12 years ago. I don't know what it was, but I used to work for Funny or Die, like as a lighting guy for a long time. So worked with a lot of celebrities and stuff and saw most of them were really, really cool. And from what I understand, they were showing up and doing those little bits for free as like a write-off or just a publicity thing or whatever. Um, but I remember doing this thing with, it was like a Halloween parody thing with Jerry
hmm.
O'Connell and Rebecca Romaine. And there was about 40 people on set. Jerry shows up, well, with Rebecca, obviously, but they show up on time, right at 8 a.m. in the morning. And before Jerry even goes to makeup or his trailer or anything, he goes to every single crew member, shakes their hand, says, "Hi, good morning. I'm Jerry. Thanks for being here." And he's not even getting paid, And I'm like, I want to do that,
Yeah,
like
I
that
totally
was
agree with
the
you.
coolest move. And then I've seen Josh Brolin do it. I've seen Brad Pitt do it, George Clooney do it to like the PAs and stuff. I've seen Keanu Reeves buy gummy worms for a PA because they didn't have them at Crafty and stuff like that. Just stuff where I'm like, not only are that's why these guys working all the time because they're nice people and they're good people, but like they're on the level. They get it. We're all just here playing pretend. Let's just all have fun together.
That is so true. That is so true. I love Brad Pitt and Keanu Reeves and all them. They're so nice, and I've heard stories of them doing stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing that
Yeah.
they do that. And
Lot of fun, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how you become friends, become a family, and make connections.
Yeah. And I mean it's like even the little things. It's like obviously when people are in the middle of the take, you're not trying to look at the people acting because you don't want them to get an eye line weird or catch eyes with you.
Right.
It's like that's why they say don't, look at me. It's not like while I'm sitting in my chair, it's like when I'm on camera and I have to focus on this eye line. If I see over here pe staring at me, I'm gonna just want to look and it's gonna screw me all up, right? So it's like it's kind of a diva ask, but if you're going around being friendly and asking people how they take their coffee and shit, then people are like, "Oh, okay, well, he's not a bad guy. He just needs this thing. So whatever,
Yeah.
versus, it's I mean it's on record in the past that I've worked with and don't really care for Mr. Steven Seagal, but he's probably the epitome of what not to do, you know. And I did 6 weeks in Salt Lake on a movie with him, and it it just every day was a new thing where like crew really didn't care. And the director was nice and the producer was really nice, but like when you got this freight train just going around putting holes in walls and showing up 4 hours late, it's like, well shit, if the star doesn't care, why would I care? you know,
Right.
and treating everybody, it's like if they're just,
Hmm.
like rats running around versus these mega superstars worth, tens to hundreds of millions of dollars just showing up in sweats and, being nice and loving and showing up on time, for Christ's sake. It's not that hard.
Right. I totally understand. I totally understand. That's so true. And, and that's everybody's in this business for sure. We work hard and do our thing. So,
Yeah,
but congratulations on your film.
thank you.
I can't wait for them to both to come out. I'm so proud of you and keep
Oh,
up the good work. And
thank you.
again, thank you for coming on as my guest.
Sure. I do want to give let your audience know that I have two other films that are out right now that I've written and directed. One's called Digging to Death, and it's not my title, but that's how it goes sometimes. Mine was What's Buried in the Backyard, which is arguably worse. But and that's like a very macabre horror story, and that's out everywhere. You can find it on Amazon and Apple and
Hmm. And what
Hulu.
was that? What was that called again?
Digging to Death.
Digging to Death. Okay.
And then my second feature is called The Devil Comes to Kansas City. And that is a Tubi original. Saban, the Power Rangers guys, picked it
Hmm.
up from us and they flipped it to Tubi as just as a Tubi original. So it's only on Tubi as of right now. But yeah, they're both worth checking out. And Winterset is just the next one in the quality elevations. So they just keep getting better and better.
Well, everybody needs to check out your two other future films and check out Michael, of course, and support him and follow him on Instagram. And again, thank you for coming on, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.
Oh, thank you, Richie. I really appreciate it. Really, really cool to be here. And yeah, let's do this again.
Yes, definitely will. We'll definitely stay in touch. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.